It's an 8-sided die. Each number corresponds to a random question I have, and whatever you roll, that is where we start.
Dicey. Ready?
Do it. Do it. I'm nervous now. 2?
Yeah.
This is a good question to start with here.
We'll see.
So this one I love asking because I'm always so curious to hear about everyone's experience, because I feel like whether you're an actor or not, you've probably done something like this.
Okay.
When you were growing up, perhaps dreaming of becoming an actor,
Yeah.
what movie scene would you reenact the most for fun?
I mean, okay, I went straight to TV.
You could do TV if you want.
It was like, I mean, right away I was like, it was Rudy Huxtable on the Cosby Show, and it was like the like lip syncy scenes, and I mean that's not. First of all, it's not a movie scene, and it's also barely a line. It's more of a music video.
I'll take that.
Yeah, but it was like there was something. I really like. Is it imprinted? Something about Rudy Huxtable.
Okay.
When I was a little kid watching that show, I was like, I want to be Rudy. I want to be her. I want to be there. I want to meet that. Like, it was like a big family. You know, there was something very tangible about like a little kid that got to be doing what I dreamed about doing.
I get that.
Almost beyond dream. It was like, oh, this is even possible? Yeah.
Oh, we're going to get to more of that in a little bit. But first, you got 2 more rolls on the tower. So we got 2.
But is that even a good answer? Because I'm also like...
No, it's totally a good answer.
Also like... Audrey in Little Shop of Horrors, and like
also a good
Goldie
answer.
Hawn in Overboard. There's a lot of like, I don't know that I would, I wouldn't like force my sister to do. It was more like in the mirror.
You say Goldie Hawn, and my mind immediately went to how many times I watched First Wives Club as a kid growing up.
Yeah, she's something. She's special.
Yeah.
Okay, ready?
Yep, let's do it. Number 5. Now you're getting a meaty acting question. This one's favorite, least favorite. Okay. I want to know
favorite
your
co-star, least favorite co-star. Okay, so
you can take it if you want. I don't want to throw anyone under the bus.
No, I wouldn't.
You'll notice also I can't ask a question about something negative without putting a positive spin on it. So this is
that's just you?
A very safe space
Great.
here. What is your single favorite part of the acting process? Things like putting a costume on for the first time, meeting your co-stars. But then I want not necessarily your least favorite, but just a part of the process where you still see room to grow for yourself.
Yeah. Favorite is like, favorite is the acting process, because there's like the on-set life.
Everything counts.
But I mean, I'm just thinking of when you are in a scene with one person or a bunch of people. This isn't acting, though. This is actually not acting. This is when something strikes you funny and people can't stop laughing. Like, I guess I'm thinking of a scene that I was in the other day where... Should I say names? I'm going to.
You can.
Yeah. Where
I feel like everybody knows what you're filming right now.
Okay, I'm filming a really great show called 5 Star Weekend. And we were doing a scene, and it was Jen Garner, Chloë Sevigny, Gemma Chan, Regina Hall, me. And Regina said something so funny. And this is just so, we could not get it together. And not just like, ha, 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 do it again. It was like tears streaming, people trying to like hide from the camera guy's little shoulders bouncing. It was like we had to fully reset. Now that isn't good acting. That's bad acting is what it is. But it's like my favorite, it's such a, I mean, that might be my favorite part of life. Maybe that's
I was going to say that is something that I think like, anybody could relate to.
Like the type of laughing that is... uncontrollable and like adds years to your life. That is so fun. That's
it's
so
like
fun.
where you can't breathe.
Yeah.
Like my friends always know that I'm a silent laugher. Yeah. And when you could see me laughing, but you can't hear anything.
Then you really
they know they've gotten me.
But I love. This is maybe again too. It's almost hard to pin down what this is, but. You do a scene and you do it again and you kind of you're like you're getting it and then there is like a magic moment and there's just it's hard to even explain because I don't know what it is, but it's when acting feels really good and you almost can't even talk about it because you don't want to like put a label on it and you don't want to say when you did that thing. It's just like it's the magic spark that maybe makes you feel like a kid or something. It's like the because sometimes, I hate to say it, but sometimes acting is just pretending and lying. You're just kind of lying and pretending to do something, but sometimes it feels really like there's just a little magic there, and it's like, oh yeah, that's the whole damn point of this. So that's
I
my
love
favorite
hearing
thing.
about those moments.
The magic moment. My least favorite, putting my microphone on.
Oh no, I get that though.
It's like, it's like
I've never heard anyone say that, but it's so true.
And I love a sound person. It's nothing against a sound person or their job. They're great at their job. It's just like all of a sudden that, you're just very aware that you're, being listened to, and you sort of have this weird thing somewhere
In
on
a
your
weird
body.
spot.
Totally. Yeah.
I think the worst experiences I've had with that, which are also the best because the sound folks that work the content days are always lovely, but I've gotten in the habit of wearing bodysuit t-shirts and high-waisted pants.
Sorry.
And there's nothing you could do about that. Yeah. You got to go to the bathroom and like snake it all the way down through your pants. It's terrible.
Sometimes amazing wardrobe costume people will like sew a pocket into your dress or your Spanx or your whatever, the waist of your pants or whatever, and make it so easy. And we give them little smooches.
Smoothie magic.
Yeah.
All right, you got one more roll in the tower.
I'm like laughing. And okay, no, we're getting it. Okay, don't do one you've already done.
That happens a lot.
And so what will we do?
You
Just
roll
it
again.
4, my favorite number.
4. Oh, I'm glad. This is a nice question.
Okay.
It's bucket list. I just want something that still remains on your acting bucket list. Again, manifestation table. Say something important.
Like I don't know how much we're doing Shakespeare movies these days, but that's what I got my theater education in college. It was like Shakespeare after Shakespeare.
Oh yes, I'm aware of that.
And I miss doing it. I haven't done it in so long that this all these damn. I'm like it's been a while since I was in college. Pause for like, whoa, it has.
I feel you on that.
And so like you learn something really big and juicy in college, and then the further you get away from it, you're like, I'm not an expert on that thing anymore. And I really, and I just miss it. I miss like the way we would work on that. Also, like I've gotten to like kind of dip my toes into some action stuff, and I love it so much, and would love to do like something really action-y.
Oh, I'm going to bring up a badass action scene you have in a certain Emmy-nominated show that should have been nominated for even more Emmys.
Okay, great.
I got strong feelings about Handmaid's Tale. I think it's one of the best shows out there.
Oh my God. Yeah.
So
it's
good.
Pretty special.
So good.
Yeah, so would love to do something, when I've gotten to do stunts and action stuff, it's like a week here and a day there, and it would be fun to like really kind of get into it.
I like all this.
Yeah.
Bring it on.
Yeah.
Bring it on. Manifestation table. Again, it will happen. What's up, everyone? Welcome back for a new edition of Collider Ladies Night. Got a high priority guest in today, Darcy Carden.
High priority.
Yes.
Woo!
I'll tell you why.
Okay, why?
Because recently Sheila Carrasco was in the studio and she told the best story about you.
Oh my.
She was your stand-in on The Good Place.
I love Sheila.
She said something to the effect of that experience showed her a whole lot about what she valued in an on-set environment and in the people she would wind up working with.
She rules. That's huge to me. Yeah, did she explain what she did?
She was on the episode where there's multiple.
Yes.
And
so it wasn't just like stand-in. It wasn't like a simple stand-in.
It was
like,
more. It was way
so
more than that. It was basically being a scene partner.
It was. It was. Yeah. It actually was because. Yeah, we don't need to just dive right in. I'm like, what happens on television sometimes? But yeah, she was necessary, and I even like pulled one of the producers aside, and I was like, can I have her for everything? And now look at her.
I'm so happy for her and that entire cast.
My best friend Brandon Scott Jones on that show.
Well, he's brought. I don't remember when or why we were talking. Maybe it was for like a CCA nomination or something. But he brought you up too. Now that you brought him up,
he also said to say hi. He was over last night. Or was it 2 nights ago?
He's the best.
Yeah, he's great.
That whole cast. Yeah. You need to get on Ghosts.
I know. Well, it hasn't quite. You're
busy.
Tried. Yeah.
You're busy.
We will. I mean, I guess, yeah, that is what it is.
This is my manifestation table. I say it almost every episode. So I say things that I want in this room.
Yeah.
So that's the first thing. What is the movie you saw, the performance you saw, the personal experience you had, whatever it may be, that first made you say to yourself, I absolutely have to be an actor?
Yeah. I mean, for me, it was like theater. And you just said movie.
Anything.
But you said anything. So it really was like...
That's why the question has to be a mile long.
Yeah,
so I
exactly.
convey that it can be anything you want.
It was like my parents bringing my sister and I to, I think specifically it was like a Christmas play or, something. I just remember Christmas Mice and I remember Damn Mrs. Claus, okay? And I think I like sat at the edge of the stage with like my little arms and, like this. And then because it was a kids show, they all kind of stood outside the theater and like waved or whatever afterwards. And it really, I have that kind of brain where when I'm watching a movie or a TV show or a play, I'm like gone. I'm in it completely. I don't know if that's overactive imagination. I don't know what that is, but I mean, I'm in it. Like the world doesn't exist.
Sounds beautiful.
It's cool. Although I can't really watch scary movies because of that. I know.
My heart.
I know. And then meeting them afterwards, I think, was when I just adjusting a shoulder pad or two, keep this in.
I love this jacket.
Meeting them afterwards, I think I was like, oh, it all came into focus. Like, those are real people. And in fact, I'm going even a step deeper. The woman who played Mrs. Claus was the mom of a kid I went to preschool with. So then it's like, I know Mrs. Shawn, I know Carrie, and she was up there. So it was like off to the races, truly. Then it was on. Then it was just, that's all I want to do. Saw my dad in a play when I was like 9, so I would like hang out backstage. And it was just like this, there's nothing else. There's nothing else I want to do. And that just stuck. Maybe to a crazy degree. It was just like, I never, people have a backup plan and people have like.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I just didn't. I just damn didn't have a backup plan.
This makes all the sense in the world to me. I'm extremely driven and type A. I knew exactly what I wanted to do and I didn't let anything push me from that path.
I think you're like, I'm almost like this is delusion. Like driven and type A, I'm like, yes, of course, that makes sense. But I'm like, what? I almost like, how did I not? It almost felt like psycho of me to just be like, that's what I'm doing. There's no other option. I don't know. No plan. Just like, let's go. I
share that. No, I share that thought. Okay, wait. I'll follow up on the idea of no plan. When you did make the decision and like you realized the obsession and the drive at that time, what did you think was step one to becoming a working actor? And I guess is that first step something that helped you that you would recommend to another aspiring actor?
Yeah, I mean, I guess the thing is, we're talking like when I was so young.
Yeah, so like before college, before you really started to get any sort of professional training.
And then, so what I did was, you do as many school plays as you can and maybe like a little children's theater here or there or whatever. But there was like, in my town, in my larger town, like the Bay Area, there was, which is where I grew up, there was like it wasn't paid or anything, just a step up, a theater company that was like, you had to audition to get in. And it was kind of like where looking back always on like a kid's theater thing, I'm like, it was the best. And I'm like, was it? Was it actually good? But it was just like a step. It was like, it felt like I keep doing that and I'm going to keep doing that. I'm going to keep doing that. Sorry. It was a step beyond the class play. And it was committing to something, and it was my parents helping with, driving me to this and that and performances on the weekends and rehearsals after school and all that stuff. It was like, it was different than just like an elective, right? So that felt like taking a big step. But also growing up in the Bay Area, so not growing up in LA, I really wanted to like audition for TV and movies and I'm sure a lot of kids out there like feel this way where you're like, how do I do that? How does that even happen? Like, how would one go about? And I guess the internet has probably made it a smidge easier where you could even like Google something. What am I going to look it up in the damn encyclopedia? Like, what was the option? Look it up in the newspaper? Know someone who knows someone? Yeah. And so that was a sort of roadblock. It's just like, how? Yeah.
Yeah. If you don't have somebody showing you the way, the question is always how. Yeah. Now I'm curious about picking where you studied your craft at college because you mentioned Shakespeare and you got a BFA in theater. So why particularly theater? And why did you choose the school you did? Because I also believe that's Shakespeare Town.
Okay, so I went to a college called Southern Oregon University, which is in Ashland, Oregon, which has a great Shakespeare festival. In fact, I think it's like, I want to say they could say it's the biggest Shakespeare festival in the country. I don't really know what that means. Biggest? Whatever.
I don't either.
The best?
But I believe it.
One of the greats?
If you say that with authority, I'll believe it to its core.
Totally. And growing up in the Bay Area, Ashland, Oregon was like a 5-hour drive. So it was sort of a destination for a lot of like high school theater classes. So every year my high school theater class, advanced drama, if you must know, audition only. Anyway, we would take a trip to Ashland and see a bunch of plays and stay there for the weekend. And it's a magical little town that is just like steeped in theater and especially Shakespeare. And it was like, it's just magical. It's amazing. And yeah, I knew I wanted to do theater. I knew it. That was my path. I loved TV and movies so much, but the truth is I didn't think that was where that didn't seem, it's not that it wasn't possible, but it was not, I just could see my future and I was like, it's theater, you know? I don't know why.
Ooh. I feel like I'm jumping ahead with this question, but do you remember the very first thing you did that allowed you to see a future for yourself on screen?
I mean, like, yeah, I guess it's funny because my answer is probably Broad City, but also maybe like a web series here or there where you're really, you know, the funny thing, it's such a funny thing. Like there's so many theater, as a kid, there's so many ways to do theater. There's so many ways to get on stage. It's almost like part of school is that you probably do a school play. Adam, don't cut that out. But as far as like getting an education and being a film or TV actor, it's much more rare and harder.
As you say that, I'm thinking about growing up in high school like a while ago where not that theater is easy, but being in a play was easier versus there was pretty much like, what did they call it at the time? The audiovisual department?
Exactly.
There was nothing like that. And nowadays everybody can make a full feature on their phone.
So I wonder what the difference of us growing up, where it would be like, how do we get the camera? And everyone's like, we have 10 of them in this room.
Yeah.
So I don't know what the difference is now, but it definitely was harder. Even going to school in Southern Oregon for acting, there was like one acting for the camera class. And I'm LOLing thinking about it right now because I don't even think we did anything on camera. I think we watched movie scenes and talked about them.
Kind of makes all the sense in the world to me.
So it's like this funny thing where you get on a set and you don't know what the hell you're doing. And in fact, speaking of Broad City, my first day on that set, I mean, this is actually a great example. Wow, we did it. We did it. Okay, it's like we wrote this and we just sort of, we didn't though. Okay, my first day on Broad City, my loves, Abby and Alana, who I had been friends.
Abby's been in here before.
Yeah.
I love her.
My girl. And they I had known them for years and they truly threw me a bone by putting me in their show. And okay, let me just think of where we are in our lives. I think I had just moved to LA. So I flew all the way back to New York to do this one scene. I was so excited. It was so nice of them. I did my scene. I'm explaining this a little bit wrong. Not wrong, but I'm just taking too long. Okay, I did.
There's no wrong answers on Ladies' Night, by
that's
the
right,
way.
that's
There's
right.
literally, like,
That's
everything
great.
about this is
We're
sit
just-
back, relax, and just appreciate all the memories flooding back.
Great. Thank you for that. So we did like Abby and Paul's coverage, and I walked in a door and they're here, and so I gave them all. We did our little scene, and then Alana walked by and said afterwards like, "Great job." And I was like, "Oh, I'll be better on mine. I was like warming up or whatever. I'll be better on mine." And she was like, "That was yours."
Oh.
She was like, "There was a camera there, a camera there." Like I was so no education in this. Like also so used to doing acting for the stage. I don't even think I clocked a camera. It was like almost like off limits. I don't know. It was like I didn't know.
What a beautiful space to be in
Isn't
when
that
you're first
wild?
starting, where you're not
Yes.
aware of everything happening around you.
It is kind of nice, but also there's a lot of technical things that you need to learn for acting for the camera that I really am like, how do you learn it unless you do it? It's simple things, but things that are technical. And I mean, so that was a great little lesson. And then not to jump, but like Barry and The Good Place, it was just, for me, that was like acting for the camera, grad school or 101 or whatever. It was just like a huge education.
It's making me think of this question that I used to ask a lot and I haven't recently.
Well,
when you first started acting for the camera, can you give me an example of a seemingly silly thing that you didn't know and were embarrassed to ask about and now wish you had asked about sooner?
Oh, yeah. Okay, let's think. Okay, something embarrassing. Okay, so there's like the easy ones like mark. Everyone's like, hit your mark. Okay, that I can get. But, okay, let me just think. I mean, I think maybe... This is obvious now, but again, this kind of goes back to my Broad City thing, like knowing where the camera is and knowing whose coverage it is.
Yes.
And if the camera is on you and it's on kind of the back of my head, if I mess up a line or it is so about you. And obviously we want to have a scene and we want to like keep it real and loose and everything. And I want to give you the exact script. But if I screw up a line, there's no reason for me to kind of go like, oh, shoot, what is it? What was my line? What was my line? Hey, can you give me, it's like, this is so not about you. And it's so about you. And it's about me like helping you to do your best performance. And anyway, that's like things like that where you either do it yourself and screw up and get embarrassed or you watch someone else do it and you go like, don't do that. Okay, I'm watching that and I see that's not something you do. Or Kristen Bell is like she knows exactly where the light is. That's something I didn't know. It's like I know where a spotlight is on stage, but I didn't know what light. I didn't know shit about lights. And she is so good at lights. And I watched and learned from her. And she could really she could run it all. She could do it all.
I'd believe that.
Yeah. And that was really helpful, really watching her. She's like, Kristen's been on, and watching a lot of people, but because Kristen was my sort of first introduction to being on set every day, it was fun and informative to just watch and like take it in from her,
Oh, yeah. Before I jump to The Good Place, just one other part of your journey that I wanted to hit, because this part of the process also fascinates me because it could be very challenging. So you study in school. After school, you move to New York, and that's where you get into UCB. And then after that, you go to L.A.
Right.
I feel like a lot of people out there, when they're making the move to L.A., they have like a vision of what it's like to kick off their career as an actor in Hollywood. And often that vision isn't what actually happens once you get on the ground there. So can you tell me what you thought it would be like to start working as an actor in Hollywood and then what actually happened when you got here?
It's funny, like I moved here kind of late. So I think that happens a lot. Like it's good. My experience with what you're explaining is almost more New York. It's like, meaning right out of college, I moved to New York. And during college, in the summers, I would do this like almost like summer stock. I would do these plays with these young college-aged or maybe just out of college, whatever, these actors that were sort of all on Broadway and they would come do theater in the Bay Area. And so I was doing all these plays with these like budding Broadway performers and I was like, and that's where I'll be next. As soon as I move to New York, I'm going to be on Broadway with all of my friends. It's going to be great. And that's when I got like the slap in the face of like the auditions, like auditions around the block, like the line around the block and not getting the audition that you think, whatever, just the regular actor shit that everybody learns when they move to New York, which is that you may have been like the star of your high school play or your college play, but so was every other person that lives there. And guess what? They're better than you. So there, just like, and maybe you have something great to offer and you probably do. And maybe you have some great talent and you probably do, but so do they and so do they and so do they. So that was the tough thing for me. And I have to say, I feel like being in New York is a little easier than feeling that. Let me say that again. I feel like feeling that in New York is a little easier than feeling that in LA.
Ooh, why?
Maybe because, and I love LA, but I think that there's so much going on in New York. There's so much going on in New York. And the acting and sort of movie industry, trying to be an actor in LA, it's like every single breath you take in LA is about this business.
Yes.
And in New York, there's so much more.
Oh, that's very true.
Right? So I think I think it might be harder to be a struggling actor in LA than in New York. I think, I might be wrong, but being a struggling actor in New York was like, I don't want to paint it with, okay, watch me mix my metaphors. I don't want to paint it with rose-colored glasses. What do I mean?
Okay.
I don't want to wear rose-colored glasses.
Yeah.
I don't want to paint it with you know what I'm saying?
The point is very clear.
You get what I'm saying. I don't want to think back on it like it was so romantic or whatever, but it was wonderful. It was wonderful. I felt very like artistically fulfilled with my UCB life, and New York is like so alive and bubbling and bursting at the seams with all this shit. And LA is wonderful, but in my experience is very like industry focused.
I get that.
Yeah. So anyway, what a tangent.
Good tangent that gives a lot of people insight because also, again, the question comes from the fact that I've spoken many a times about making the move to LA to make it as an actor.
Right.
And there's a significant amount of the industry in New York too.
And I think that at that point, at my move to LA was like, I'd spent 10 years in New York and had such great, the best time at UCB, which is like this small comedy theater that was doing amazing things. And I was so fulfilled there. And friends of mine were starting to get work, and Abby and Alana and Aubrey Plaza and people at McKinnon, and like these people were starting to like get some jobs that were like really exciting. And a lot of it was happening in LA. Although there was still plenty in New York, but a lot of friends were moving to LA and popping up on this TV show or that TV show or this movie or a commercial or whatever. So it just seemed like as wonderful and amazing. I was having the best time in New York, and I love New York so much. And how funny. I was about to say things were going great. Things were not going great. I was making $0 a day as an actor, but I was making good money as a babysitter.
Bill Hader's
That's right.
I've done my research.
Yeah,
I know the important points
That's
here.
Right. Yeah. But, moving to LA was less about like time to make it as an actor and more like maybe I could like pay my rent with a little. I think there's a little more acting here that would actually pay me to make a living. But I definitely thought it was like too late for me to find any like real success out here. For sure. I know.
And little did you know what was on the horizon.
Wait, I keep doing this with my hands. I just want you guys to hear this. Wait. Okay, now it's not doing it. Well, there, listen.
Yeah.
So that's my hands, just so you know.
Yeah. It's a good thing to clarify.
We'll see.
Yeah, the amount of odd sounds I've made during interviews, that's where Adam's editing magic comes in. Let me tell you, the amount of weird noises and ums he's removed from me in the last 3 years, it's something else.
Adam to remove like maybe 50% of the
Nothing
likes.
makes me happier than an episode of Ladies Night where we give Adam the amount of shout-outs he deserves.
Oh, that's great.
So I'm happy this is happening. We love this.
Great.
So you name dropped a whole bunch of people.
Did I?
who like had their moment and you quite hadn't had your breakout opportunity, but then The Good Place comes along, and that, I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, is your first series regular opportunity.
That's right.
What did it mean to you to finally have that moment?
Like more than I can really even put into words, because it was like too perfect for words. It felt like I had literally described my ideal dream, right? Like, as a struggling actor, like, what do you want? What would your ideal situation be? What's your dream? What's your not exactly bucket list, because it's like, do you want anything? If you could pick anything. And it was like, I'd love to be in a show like Parks and Rec. I'd love to be in a show like 30 Rock. I'd love to be in a show like Cheers, something where it's just like a great ensemble with like incredible writers and getting to be funny. I mean, it's like Friends. I mean, that's all I could ever want. So I can't even, like, it still kind of feels like a dream that happened. But at the time, it definitely felt like I was so afraid I was going to, like, wake up, you know?
I understand that. Every time I get something I want professionally, I always think I'm going to wake up.
Yeah. A lot of times I would be like driving home from a day at the Good Place. And like I can kind of even picture the place on the freeway where I'd have this thought of like this is so morbid. Like you're going to get into a car crash. And when you wake up in the hospital, this was all a dream.
Oh my.
Uh-oh. But it was like,
I get that line of thinking though.
Yeah.
No, I can assure you, everything here is real.
Sure?
Everything here is real.
Okay.
Given how you process just getting the role,
Yeah.
what was it like when you found out you got an Emmy nomination of all things?
Oh, that was so lovely. I mean, it was for the last season. So we had already, it was like it was God's greatest kiss. It was big fat ice cream and delicious. It was just like, it was such a nice treat. Do you know what I mean? It was not expected, and it was that show means so much to me, and it ended right before COVID, and the Emmy nomination came during COVID, and so even that was like surreal and wild, and it was just me celebrating with my husband and my dearly departed dog, who was alive at the time, of course. That makes sense, right?
Yeah.
And just Penny's ghost. But it was just so sweet. Do you know what I'm saying? It was just like, oh, that's so nice. It's so nice. It just felt so nice. And I you know, I feel like anything I say right now is going to sound cheesy, but it's like I shared it with the writers so much, and it just felt like this is for us. This is just for us. You know?
I get that.
Yeah,
I get that.
It was really nice.
You'll hear towards the end of Ladies' Night, I'm very big in making people give themselves the credit they deserve, but the writing on that show is just exceptional. Exceptional all the way through.
Really exceptional. Like on another level.
One other question about The Good Place, because every time I do these Ladies' Nights, I ask my colleagues, like, what do you want to know from this person the most? And I have two highly submitted questions. Okay. One of which is, when are we going to get a reunion? But I want to spin that a little, because I'm sure you've been asked about a reunion a bajillion times. Yeah. In your mind, if I gave you like the power of the pen, what do you think would justify a reunion?
That's a great question.
Not just doing it for the sake of doing it, but so there's real value in bringing everyone back together.
I mean, that's really the question for me too, is not just like, when is the reunion? Like tomorrow, whenever. I love those people. I want to get back with them immediately. So, you know, what would justify it? I mean, because this is the problem, is like all I want to do is be on that set with those people. But also when we ended, I was like, you know, even though I'm like, oh, I want to do this for 10 more years. But when Mike said, I think let's end it at 4 instead of 5 or whatever, when he was like, you know, we've decided that the story is complete here. I was so impressed. I like respected it so much, you know? And yeah, Manny had just bought a house and was looking forward to that paycheck. I'm just kidding. But, you know, like it was, but it was just, I just was like, oh, this is even, every step of that show, I was just like, yep, that's the right thing. That's the right thing. This is the right script. This is the right casting. Like every step of it, I was like, yep, you just did the right thing. So what would justify it? Like, I do think, you know, something about Michael's story, I think. I mean, this is now I'm talking story as opposed to like the world, because
it's a fair angle to take.
But I'm not sure. I'm not Mike sure is what the real answer is. I think I know he and those writers could definitely come up with great reasons to bring us all back together, and sort of even have. We've like definitely joked about who we would want to follow, and you know, there's so much to that story, whether it be like the afterlife or in real world, or there's so many places you could go. Oh, the places you could go, and the great characters. It's just like, it's so special that I wouldn't want to do anything that cheapened it.
I get it. Yeah, I get it. That's why I phrased the question that way. So I had two follow-ups that popped into my mind. I'll go with the first one that I had jotted down because I told you that there were two questions that my colleagues really wanted the answer to. The other one pertains to A League of Their Own.
Okay, let's talk about it.
How do we get a movie to wrap it all up?
Honestly, that's a great idea. I mean, I hadn't even thought of a movie. I know. Because what was it? Okay, so we had 4 more episodes. So that's an hour each. So that's 4 hours. So that's just like you make a couple cuts, that's a movie. Yeah, I know.
Makes all the sense in the world to me.
I know. I was on set with Roberta today, who played Lupe.
I think she is excellent.
She's really something.
It feels like she still hasn't hit the point where she's getting the credit she deserves either.
She is excellent.
Yeah, like in literally everything I see her in.
I agree. Yeah, she's it was fun getting to act with her again because I told her this. I was like, I love hanging out with you, and I forgot, like, you're such a good actor.
So good.
Yeah. And she was like, you forgot?
I can never forget. Yeah. She's so good.
Yeah, she's so good. But so I don't know. I mean, that is a special group of people. We all feel like there's, it's hard when there's a story that is left ... you know?
So that was my other question, especially with the way that you phrased the end of The Good Place, where it came to its natural conclusion. You all got to finish that out the way you wanted. How do you find closure with a character when the rug was pulled out from under you far too soon?
Yeah, great question. And I know what the end was. Like Abby took me through what the end of the season would look like, and it was one of the reasons we even not we, I mean, I wasn't a producer on it, but when it was sort of presented like a shortened season, that was sort of even a question. Do we even want to do that? Is that too short? And when Abby told me what it would look like, I was like, we have to do it. It's too good. Like that has to be wrapped up in this way that would be so fulfilling to us as actors, to the fans of the show who put so much love and energy into it, that deserve the period at the end of the sentence instead of the ...
Yeah.
Yeah. So meaning I do have a little bit of closure.
Okay.
Because
I'm glad you have.
Yeah, because I kind of know where the characters end up, but that's not fair for everybody else.
No, I'm not going to put you on the spot and ask you to give the answer to, because, like, again, the movie question comes from hope that, like, maybe someday it will happen. Yeah. I truly think that the cancellation of that show, I think it already has, but it also will continue to go down in history as one of the worst streamer decisions ever made.
That means a lot. Thank you. Because that was, I think it was 2 years ago yesterday, or 2 years ago this week or something, where I saw an old screenshot of us kind of going like talking to each other about it, and it was almost exactly 2 years ago. I think the story is worth telling. However, and it's up to Abby, but whether it's however she wants to do that, whether it's, I don't know, a book.
I'd read a book.
A graphic novel, a movie for other actors in 15 years from now, a reading.
That seems real possible to me.
Yeah. Would be down. Love those girls so much. Manifestation table.
I love those ideas.
Those are some special. That was a special time with special actors, and we really really all fell in love with each other pretty hard.
Got a lot of hardcore fans out there. Literally every time there's an opportunity to bring that show up, like, I feel the urgency, but so does everyone that I'm
amazing.
Surrounded with.
I love that. That was quite an experience. I never experienced that kind of like love for a show. That was really
it was really special. That show made a lot of people feel seen in a way that I think was very necessary.
Yeah, me too. And just, can you believe it? Like, when the idea that somebody could watch something and feel seen and change their life is it's like more than I could ever ask for. Yeah.
I have one more show I have to hit before I jump to Sketch, but I will say I think Sketch has that effect where what I would have given to see a movie like that as a kid, especially as a kid who loves genre and loves creatures, there's so much about that movie that really just speaks, that I think would have justified in my mind the way my mind worked as a child.
Oh, I love that.
So
I love
good.
that.
Handmaid's Tale.
Okay.
The show is so good. I am still in awe by the fact that you just swooped in at the tail end of a long-running show and justified the addition of a new character in a way that felt so full and made me so happy as a fan. I guess, what is going through your mind when you come in at the 11th hour and need to not only fully sell a new person, but make me believe everything she's been through in order to be a plant in Gilead. Oh, so good.
I'm so glad you feel that way.
I hope you know a lot of people feel that way.
Yeah.
While doing research for this episode of Ladies Night, that was one of the things where, I saw so many hot takes. Like, this is the character this show needed. Like, where did she come from? And it's great.
I love that.
I mean it.
That show means so much to me. And that was, it's a show that, I have thought about that show so much. It has spent so many hours in my mind thinking about the storylines, the actors, the writing, the concepts and the themes. And it's one of those shows that sticks with you, obviously. It's not just like you watch and you forget about it. It sticks with you. And I thought a lot about these characters and the actors and what I want to say what an honor it is to play those characters. But this is me as a viewer thinking that, Does that make sense?
Oh, yeah, without a doubt.
And so then to get to the opportunity to be on that show and to be an actor playing this character that I'd already thought through all this. I'd already thought, can you imagine being an actor on this show? So it was, I really didn't take it lightly and I jumped at it and wanted to give it everything. And sometimes it's fun when I shot it up in Toronto and I could really focus on it. I lived in a little hotel room and we shot at night. So I had it was specifically made for giving myself time to really think about this world and this character. And sometimes you don't always get that time. And so I really took advantage of it. And, it was really special. And it was, it was getting to work with actors of that caliber. And I can't believe I got to work with Ann Dowd. I mean, Ann Damn Dowd. Ann Damn Dowd.
Yeah.
She's the greatest. And, that cast is phenomenal. That there's not a dud in the bunch. Those people are incredible.
Exceptional.
Yeah. I was really just, don't fuck this up. Was sort of the and the fear also, I don't know, of coming into a show like that as someone who's primarily known for comedy is don't be the comic relief. Whatever you do, don't be funny. Don't don't take it lightly. It just meant too much to me. You know what I mean? It means too much to me to because I think there's a version of that character that could be a little lighter and not comic relief because that show doesn't really have that, but a little bit. But I really didn't want to do that. I really wanted to take it as seriously as it calls for.
Oh, you're pitch perfect.
Thank you.
Pitch perfect. The one scene, I want to ask you about literally everything with this character, but we also have to get to sketch, which I love.
I mean, we do. I thought you were going to say we have to go, and I'm I got shit to do, baby.
Little bit. The one scene I do want to make sure to ask about, because I think the set piece is an absolute masterpiece, is the big hanging bomb set piece. And that's where you get this badass shot of you. I mean, those are secret agent vibes. And it's cool to watch, but the best part about it is that you've earned it. I believe she could do that.
I'm so happy to hear that because that's obviously a fear. And of course, spoilers if you haven't seen it, but that's okay. It's my fear with that scene was somebody would be watching it and think, but an aunt would never know how to do that. So what is this? And the nice thing is, I talked to the writers about it so much and the showrunners, and it's we get the reveal scene right after that. So even if you are left with the how does she know how to handle a gun like that? You're about to find out. But I feel we planted enough seeds. It's fun. weirdly, luckily,
Yeah.
I mean, honor, I'm honored. I keep getting to play these characters that have like a gigantic twist. Or be in things with a gigantic twist. They're like, I mean, like the good, there's actually some that's coming out that I can't name, but the good, not yet. Next Ladies Night.
Okay.
The Good Place. And then this movie I did called Shotgun Wedding. And I know there are others where it's like for half the thing, I'm something, and then it turns into something else. And that was with Handmaid's Tale. It's such a fun and scary little line to walk. And it takes so much trust and conversation and like making sure that you're, doing the right thing at the right time. And anyway, that was a very fun experience, and I just felt incredibly honored to do it. And getting to kick ass was like a joy.
So good.
Truly, when I read that scene, the big hanging and the bombs and I'm like, as a fan of that show, I have been waiting for this scene, and I get to be in it. Can you imagine? I get to be in it?
Yeah.
I get to shoot dudes in the face?
What an exquisitely photographed scene, too.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
the fact that I think, I have to use the word stunning because the way everything is choreographed is like exhilarating but like beautiful looking.
Yeah.
Also, the fact that I have a firm sense of geography with everything going on and where everyone, there's so much about that sequence I'm in awe of still.
And cut this out if it's wrong, but Elizabeth directed that episode, Elizabeth Moss.
I should know this information
I
off
should
the
too.
top of my head.
We block
I know
shots,
she did,
so it's
she
hard
did
to
1
remember.
and 2. I also try to remember who writes everything because my friend is a writer on the show, and I like keep forgetting which one she was behind and which one she didn't do.
That was the second to last episode.
9.
Okay, I think she did 9 and 10.
I think she did 9 and 10.
And she's a fantastic director. She's
really
we
is.
already know she's one of the world's greatest actors, truly, deeply. But she was such a good director. I loved working with her.
She was also on Ladies' Night in the early days, so I am forever indebted to her.
She's really cool.
For Invisible Man, which is still one of my favorite.
What a good movie.
I could talk about that movie all day long, but you're lucky because I could also talk about Sketch all day long.
Great.
First question about that one, because I don't know, it feels like you don't really feel how genius that whole idea is until you see everything come together in the end. So what makes me super curious is like, what's going on in your head when you're reading that script? How does what you're picturing compare to what that film wound up being in the end?
That's great. Because that is like a leap of faith a little bit, right? It's with a first-time writer-director.
Hugely ambitious idea.
Right. Didn't know him. I got an email from Tony Hale, who I worship, and when he said that they want me to play Liz, I was already in because of Tony.
Yeah.
But it is scary to go out of town and shoot a movie with a director and writer that you don't know. And so it was, that's one of those ones where you're like reading the script like this, like, please be good, please be good. And it was so good. I almost wanted you to read the script. You should read the script. I should email it to you.
I would be so curious.
It jumps off the page. I was like, I could see it all. Also, Seth Worley, the amazing writer, director, editor, beyond, he, I'm trying to think of what came with that first thing. Did I see pictures of the monsters already? I feel like I saw artwork. I saw a short that he did. And I knew, I could tell he just did it. He just did it. He didn't do it with a lot of money, but it looked incredible. And I could tell he was special. And yeah, it was one of the most fun reads I've had, where I'm like, I just could see them all. Sense of humor. I don't know. He just killed it. He killed it. And then continued to kill it. And it is a funny little thing to do, like an indie monster movie, where it's like, now look in the sky and there's a big blue monster in there. Just trust me. And I think with a different director, writer, etc., I would have been like, okay, wait. Explain it to me again. Like where am I looking and what does it look like? And I was like, I trusted him to the ends of the earth. It was so easy. And this is just like a little indie that they did for $5, which I can't believe. But it really, it turned out, it turned out like I thought it was going to, but even so much better, Like I had a confidence in it, and then he blew it out of the water.
It's so smart.
Yeah.
Just the it's not easy bringing monsters to life on the big screen in a way that's believable.
Right.
The idea of them being brought to life in whatever she made them in.
If she drew it with crayons, the monster is going to, like the sparkles and the Sharpie monsters and all that stuff. To me, that is the type of thing that, like, again, a little indie movie would have to lose. It's like, well, we don't have the money for that. So it just has to look, whatever. It just has to be the easiest way we do it. There's so many things in that movie that I'm like, I can't believe that got in, if that makes sense.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, without a doubt. I have to ask you about so many of your scene partners. Yeah. I'll stick with Tony first because you've already brought him up. This actually comes from another interview that I was watching that you did. You mentioned that you two share the same comedy language. So I just want to know what that means. How would you define your comedy language?
Oh my gosh. Okay. What is, how to define? I know this is like simple, but it's not. It's almost a feeling. It's like a rhythm and a feeling and a he's a genius and he has created some of the most like iconic, I guess is the word, but also just hilarious and grounded. But I mean, blow your mind hilarious characters on TV that we love. I mean, he's your favorite part of the funniest shows that have ever been on TV. That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy. So part of the language that we share is me copying him, is me watching him and being like, I want to do that. I like the way he does that. I'm going to do that. That's part of it. But then also, you know, it's something with comedy people. It's like there are different types of comedy people and different types of comedy for sure. And sometimes you just click. Yeah, I mean, it is. I'm sure that a really smart person could put it into great detail or like really be eloquent about this. But I'm like, it's a feeling and a vibe and a rhythm and knowing when to back off and knowing when to push and knowing with this particular one with Sketch, because it is funny. But if you think about it, most of the funny comes from the kids.
Yeah.
That Tony and my character were written funnier. We were written funnier, but Tony's idea was to ground it more and to kind of cut some of the jokes out, which is hard for a comedy person to do. And Seth got it and was so on board and collaborative about that. But Tony was like, I think that I mean, I don't even know if he said it like this, but what I gathered is the adults should ground this movie. And this is really serious what's happening. Like someone's going to die. You know, my kids are gone and someone's going to die. And so some of the buttons at the end of the scene or whatever, he was like, is it okay if we don't say that? It was just really cool to witness. And then yeah, that's part of the language too, is just knowing when something should sit. Does that make sense?
It makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
I always say, like, sitting in this seat, I marvel at what actors are able to do on screen because I'm fascinated by the craft and my brain can't compute how you all do what you do. But I also can't quite compute how someone sits in that seat and then explains their craft.
And I'm not, by the way. I haven't done that yet. I'm like, it's a feeling and it's just like.
But sometimes that is what it is.
Explain it better with like sounds than words. You know what I mean?
I do kind of understand that.
Yeah.
Also, you saying rhythm with defining it makes all the sense in the world. The scene that I keep thinking about where like I could just totally tell the rhythm is perfect is the cat scene.
Great.
You two going back and forth there. I'm like, yes, that's exactly where it needs to be.
That's great, and I appreciate that. And then this is on top of that is like it was like that from the beginning. Meaning, it was like it's in the. I was about to say lyrics, which is interesting. It's in the script. No, I don't mean pause here. What it's not like that. I just mean it's the way Seth wrote it. I don't know. It was so easy. It was so easy. And there's something really exciting about doing something and it's easy. Because sometimes it's not, and that doesn't mean it's good or bad or anything. It's just sometimes it's easy, and that's also something to be aware of. It's like, oh, that was easy, which is amazing.
Y'all make it look so easy in this movie. So do these kids.
How
How are they real?
I know.
Like, how do kids do that?
I know. They were amazing.
Kue and Bianca, like the authenticity, like the part, all right, the next question I have is a spoiler question.
Okay.
So at the very least, I'm going to say everybody has to prioritize seeing Sketch. It was one of my favorite movies of TIFF last year. It's probably going to be one of my favorite movies of 2025 now.
Thank you for being so supportive of it, really.
I mean it, sincerely. Spoiler warning if you haven't seen it yet.
Yeah.
The scene between the two of them that I keep thinking about is towards the tail end where he says, now I didn't write down the exact line.
I know what you're going to say.
Where he says something to the effect of like something is wrong with you.
Right. I know.
Everything on his face,
I know.
it's so authentic. And then even when he glances away, I'm like I feel everything that's going on in here.
I love that. I know. I'm blown away by these guys. They did such a good job, and Tony did such a good job with them. And I just said Tony, but Tony did. But Seth did such a good job with them, and has 3 kids of his own, and really speaks kid, which I should say is like not speaking kid. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
He's treating them like to the top of their intelligence, and he's giving them that respect and is really patient and he really killed it in this. He really blew my mind and is such a true talent. And those kids, there's like not a moment of falseness.
No.
It's wild.
They have a couple of lines, too, that could, like, teeter one way or the other, and they never miss it.
Yeah. I was really impressed. I saw the first cut of that movie, I want to say like 2 years ago, but it couldn't be that long. Maybe a year and a half ago. And, I mean, we shot it 3 years ago.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Well, I kind of know because as I see them all promoting the release on social, they're all like,
we're big kids now.
That's older.
I know. I'm so excited to watch all 3 of their careers because they're just amazing. But I saw a screening of that movie with Brandon Scott Jones, who we mentioned before, one of my best friends. And, you know, the first time you see yourself in anything, you're kind of like, you can't really watch. You can't really, I mean, all actors are different. But the first time I see anything I'm in, I'm kind of like, huh? Was it good? Was it bad? Like I'm in a fog. I'm watching it like this. But anyway, we got in my car and I was like, I said, yeah. He was just like, oh my God. And I was like, it's great, right? And he goes, no, it's not great. It's good. With like the deepest, like in my eyes, it is like legitimately good. Not just like, oh, that's a great little kid's movie. It's like deeply good. It's good. It was really exciting. And then, I don't know. Yeah, it was just seeing it at the premiere with my husband. He wanted to save it for the big screen, so he waited, and he really cried a lot.
Yeah.
It's a crier.
It is.
Yeah. And then when it came out in the movie theaters, a bunch of my friends, like 10 of my friends, went and saw it with me, which was so cute. Oh my God, it was so cute. And we were sitting there and they were laughing and they were, you know, like they were really enjoying it. And then by the end, the whole row was like wiping away tears and sniffling. And I was like, I thought like, you could really fake laugh your way through a movie, but you can't fake cry your way through a movie.
It's true.
It got him.
It's so true.
It really got him. A bunch of adults, no kids.
It really has amazed me too. And this always amazes me, actually. And I feel like it's something I've been wowed by even more so after getting a niece and nephews, when we can all watch a movie together and like all appreciate it and all feel. And I feel like Sketch is truly a movie for everybody.
I do too.
That sounds like such a marketing line, but I mean it so sincerely.
I kind of mean it's like I don't know a movie like that as much, maybe since the old days of the 90s and 80s. I mean, I'm sure there are, but
it's also got like such a texture to it.
Yeah.
It feels like a lot of movies that are trying to be fun for the whole family have like an unrealistic like gloss to it, if that makes sense.
It's not very glossy at all.
This one doesn't feel that way. It feels so
I'm
authentic
with you.
and
I'm
real.
so glad you like it. I do too.
So much.
Yeah.
All right, we've hit the last ladies' night question.
Okay.
Every single episode of the show ends with this particular question. In this industry, people give each other awards. I love that. I think that's great. I think we should keep on doing that. But I find that nobody stops to tell themselves good job as much as they should. So I want to know something you've done recently that you know you're always going to look back on and say, you know what? I'm really proud of what I did there.
Wow. Okay. Gulp. And you mean like an acting role. You don't mean like, I was really nice on set. You mean like...
It could be. No, it could. It could be on screen or behind the scenes, whatever you prefer. I think both things are aspects to be proud of.
Water, turning the tables. This is such a hard question.
Yeah, I know. That's why I had to start asking
Yeah.
it. I've noticed that like I had a really hard time answering it. I can only be hard on myself and never praise myself, and that was a problem. So now I force other people to do it.
Okay. I think this is what like is coming to my head, which is like less so about I really liked myself in blank role, because I think that's so hard. For me, it's usually like I liked that second, or I liked that delivery or whatever. But something I find about watching yourself acting is you, and this I can't say is universal because I'm only myself, but I'm like, you're watching yourself lying. You're watching yourself pretending. And you have moments of like, hopefully moments of transcendence where you really connected with it or whatever. But some of those takes are you just sort of like fumbling your way through something, looking desperately for something. So it's really, really, really goddamn hard to watch yourself as an actor. It's really hard to believe yourself. I'm like, you'd be so lucky if you believed yourself. And I'm also like, are you crazy if you believe yourself? I don't know. So it's hard. It's more technical. I'm like, good job finding the light. You know what I'm saying? But I think what I've been good at lately is, and this might be like a product of the strike and having like some there was like I feel like with The Good Place and Barry, there was like, I was sort of on a ramp up. It was no breaks, which was glorious, but also you're just like going to the next thing and the next job and the next like, okay, like this is so exciting. It's happening. Go, 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 go. This is so great. And then COVID and the strike, more so the strike was like a halt. And getting back into work has been so hard for so many, everyone, I should say. And whatever level you feel it. And I felt it. And so getting back to work has been like, don't take this for granted. And I've been good at not taking it for granted.
I like that answer.
And it's twofold. One is the character and the work you put into the acting of it all. And the second part is being on set and enjoying that and knowing that it's, there's like a little bit of a summer camp thing where you're kind of like, it's going to be like this forever. And then the 3 weeks are up or whatever. And you're like, I'm never going to see my friends again. That can happen on a set too. Where you're just sort of in it so hard that that when it's done, it's like kind of can shock you. And
it's one of the most beautiful feelings. Yeah. Because you know that you had a group that was special and worth it.
Yeah. The show I'm doing right now, 5 Star Weekend.
Yeah.
Which is so fun.
I can't get over that ensemble.
The ensemble is incredible. But we are about to wrap in LA, and then we have a Nantucket shoot. We're there for a month, and it's been we keep talking about it because we wrap really soon, and we keep talking about how it's almost great to have this early wrap because it's reminding us that I don't know, to enjoy it, to just it's coming to an end. We've been like hardcore going at it, and now it's coming to an end. But then we have this like little extra, present on the end, which will be work, but we get to do it in Nantucket.
It's a beautiful place to get to do that.
Don't mind if I do.
I love it.
Yeah.
All right. We've done it. We've hit the end of Ladies' Night, so I'm going to say congrats on everything you've accomplished on Sketch, everything coming your way in the future. As always, I barely got to like a fraction of the questions I had.
Let's do it again.
Come back anytime you want.
I want to.
Anytime you want.
Awesome. Thank you for having me.